जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना जमुना तीरा वनचार्य जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रीला प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. This morning we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto entitled Creation, chapter 5, Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam, text 25. उच्चिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजा सकृद् स्म भुञ्जे तद् अपास्ता किल्बिषा एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसा तद् धर्म एव आत्मरुचि प्रजायते. उच्छिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजा उच्छिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजा सकृत् स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्त किल्बिषा सकृत् स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्त किल्बिषा एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसा एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसा तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते. उच्छिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजा सकृत् स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्त किल्बिषा एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसा तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते. Please recite. Uttishtalepānam dvija. Pravrittasya vishuddha cetasa. Tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Uttishtalepān anumodito dvijan. Sakritsma bhunje tadapasta kilvisha. Evam pravrittasya vishuddha cetasa. Tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Uttishtalepānamodito dvija. Uttishtalepānamodito tadapasta kilvisha. Evam pravrittasya vishuddha cetasa. Tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Anybody from Vaishnavis? Uttishtalepānamodito dvija. Sakrisma bhunje tadapasta kilvisha. Evam pravrittasya vishuddha cetasa. Tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Uttishtalepānamodito dvija. Sakrisma bhunje tadapasta kilvisha. Evam pravrittasya vishuddha cetasa. Tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. We'll see word to word meaning. Uttishtalepān, the remnants of foodstuffs. Anumodita, being permitted. Dvija, by the Vedantist Brahmans. Sakrit, once upon a time. Sma, in the past. Bhunje, took. Tat, by that action. Apasta, eliminated. Kilvisha, all sins. Evam, thus. Pravrittasya, being engaged. Vishuddha cetasa, of one whose mind is purified. Tat, that particular. Dharma, nature. Eva, certainly. Atmaruchi, transcendental attraction. Prajayate, was manifested. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Once only by their permission I took the remnants of their food, and by doing so all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. Please recite the translation in response. Once only by their permission I took the remnants of their food, and by doing so all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time the very nature of transcendentalist became attractive to me. Purport. Pure devotion is as much infectious in a good sense as infectious diseases. A pure devotee is cleared of all kinds of sins. The personality of Godhead is the purest entity, and unless one is equally pure from the infection of the material qualities, one cannot become a pure devotee of the Lord. The Bhakti Vedantas, as above mentioned, were pure devotees, and the boy became infected with their qualities of purity by their association and by eating once the remnants of the foodstuffs taken by them. Such remnants may be taken even without permission of the pure devotees. There are sometimes pseudo devotees, and one should be very much cautious about them. There are many things which hinder one from entering devotional service, but by association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed. The neophyte devotee becomes partially and practically enriched with the transcendental qualities of pure devotees, which means attraction for the personality of Godhead's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, etc. Infection of the qualities of the pure devotee means to imbibe the taste of the pure devotion always in transcendental activities of personality of Godhead. This transcendental taste at once makes all material things distasteful. Therefore, a pure devotee is not at all attracted by material activities. After the elimination of all sins or obstacles on the path of devotional service, one can become attracted, one can have steadiness, one can have perfect taste, one can have transcendental emotions, and at last one can be situated on the plane of loving service of the Lord. All these stages develop by association of pure devotees, and that is the purport of this stanza. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I seek blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I can speak something worthwhile on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this particular verse is yet again a very instructive, very important verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in this chapter, Narada Muni is describing to Vedavyas as to how important for him is to write Srimad Bhagavatam. And Narada Muni is encouraging Vyasa that take up pure devotional service in a pure and simple form. Do not try to adulterate it with any compromised version of pious activities. So, while having described this, Narada Muni is telling, turn it on. If it creates sound, I don't want it. Yeah, fine, it's okay. So Narada Muni is describing to Vyasa about his own life, how he himself got purified by the association of devotees. So it is little striking to see this description of Narada Muni, that when Narada Muni is describing that how I advanced in Krishna consciousness, generally sometimes when devotees are asked this question that how you became Krishna conscious, we naturally say that I came in contact with philosophy, I read the books, philosophy attracted me. Sometimes devotees say that. Of course, people say that prasadam also attracted me. Many devotees tell that also. But very rarely you will see a devotee who will say that the remnants of the prasadam of the devotees attracted me. Right? That generally devotees don't tell like that. But here Narada Muni is telling that, so here it says Uchishta Lepan Anumodito Dvijam Sakrut. So this word Sakrut says once upon a time. So seemingly Narada Muni has done a considerable amount of service to these Bhakti Vedantas. And somehow Narada Muni felt that I should ask for remnants from them. He himself might have not seen these Bhakti Vedantas who were staying in their ashram taking remnants of each other, because there are certain activities which devotees do in a very confidential way. There are certain things which devotees do in a very public way, and there are certain things which devotees do in a very confidential way. Like for example, we go out and do Sankirtan. We tell people come and dance, chant in Kirtan. We do in front of everyone. All the devotees, all the people who are neophyte devotees, who are non-devotees, who are averse to devotional service, all categories of people, in front of them we can perform Kirtan and encourage them in devotional service. But there are certain things which we don't do it in public. Like for example, somebody wants to express his devotion by glorifying some devotees. Like for example, say Vyas Puja. We don't publicize Vyas Puja saying that all of you come, all of you come. We tell them the disciples are very confidential well-wishers, only come. Or when we are having exchanges of intimacy with devotees, like for example, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing kirtans at Srivas Angan in the night, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically told that when this ecstasy of devotion is there, when we are exchanging, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying while chanting these kirtans, he said, call only qualified devotees. Don't just call anyone from anywhere. So this particular exchange also of devotional service, of taking remnants of the devotees who have accepted prasadam, is not some public thing which we have to display. Or we don't have to canvas this. So here it says once upon a time. So it does not mean that every day he was taking remnants. And this exchange naturally came to him, Narada Muni, that maybe this is beneficial for me. Maybe this will help me in devotional service. So only when we have that kind of faith in a particular devotee, that if I take the remnants of that devotee, I will advance in Krishna consciousness. Only then we should take. Having described the glories in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Mahaprasadam, so when we make something, when we are making bhoga for the Lord, when we offer that bhoga to the Lord, all that which we made, it becomes prasadam. Right? And that prasadam, that food items which we specifically offer to the deities directly in the plate, that becomes Mahaprasadam. So sometimes the spiritual calculations may not exactly fit the terminology. Like when I gave a devotee, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we take prasadam and we go and give prasadam to the friends and devotees also. So when I used to come back from the program or come back from the temple, I used to go and give my friend, saying that this is prasadam. This is prasadam means so much. We always thought that prasadam means, when you go to generally a typical South Indian temple, you get this much prasadam in handful. But I used to take them full prasadam, like halwa. How much? One tiffin box of halwa. It's a prasadam. He used to accept. So one day I took a very small quantity of prasadam and I told them this is Mahaprasadam. So he was like, prasadam itna jada tha, Mahaprasadam should be more in bigger quantity. Why Mahaprasadam is smaller in quantity? So this quantity, when we say Mahaprasadam, it is not the quantity of what we are qualifying is. The quality of the prasadam we are talking about. Because it is offered to the Lord directly, it becomes Mahaprasadam. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says that which is offered to the Lord is Mahaprasadam, and that prasadam which is been accepted by the devotees and the remnants remain, it becomes Mahaprasadam. So that is the quality of Mahaprasadam. So this specific act of accepting prasadam is one thing. What I have told is it has to be done only. First of all, it is not some public event where we canvass that we are going to accept Mahaprasadam of that particular devotee. All of you please come and attend this event. We don't do that. Next thing is we should accept the prasadam from Mahaprasadam of that devotee only when we feel that this will help me in advancing in Krishna consciousness. We should not accept just because few other devotees are there. If I do not accept, maybe they will feel that I do not have such faith in that devotee, like that. And even while exchanging with devotees, it should be done in a very matured way. Like there is one shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Bhakta pada dhuli, Bhakta pada jal, Bhakta bhukta avashesh, Teen Mahabal. So if somebody directly goes into this verse and tries to accept the purport of this verse as per his whims, he will go catch the devotee's plate. I want to eat Mahaprasadam from you, Prabhu. This is Mahabal. Why don't you give me? So in this particular act, if you end up displeasing the devotee, right, then you accepting that Mahaprasadam is of no value. So here if we see, the verse says, Anumodito Dvijan. Anumodito means they have gracefully allowed me. Yes, you can take. It is not that Narad Muni was catching the plate and these Bhakti Vedantas were catching the other side. No, you give me. No, you give me. Right? It should not happen like that. Why it should not happen? Although the intention may look very good, that this devotee wants Mahaprasadam, it shows sometimes that he is taking it cheaply. It is not that you just go and pick up something and you will get Mahaprasadam. So that quality of Mahaprasadam, the purity, the sanctity has to be maintained. So Uchishta Lepan Anumodito Dvijan, by their permission I have took. Now in the purport, Prabhupada says, such remnants may be taken even without the permission of pure devotees. So now this can be misquoted, misapplied. Do whatever is needed for that. See, devotional service, although very simple, when we are growing in devotional service, we should be careful about how we can swiftly progress also. So now, here Prabhupada never said that we can displease that devotee and take also. Like for example, this Mahaprasadam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita only, if I am not wrong, Antilila, there is a description of two devotees. One is Kalidas and one was Jadu Thakur. There's one whole chapter describing the glories of these two devotees. So what was the glory of these two devotees? Like for example, if we carefully analyze Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees, one particular devotee exemplified one aspect of devotional service. Like for example, Haridas Thakur exemplified chanting. Sanatan Goswami exemplified humility. Rupa Goswami exemplified devotional mellows. Jeev Goswami exemplified the philosophical aspect of knowledge. So in this way, every devotee had special ability, special quality. So this Jadu Thakur and Kalidas were very expert in accepting prasadam, Maha prasadam. So whenever some great devotees used to visit some Vaishnava's home, they used to either tell those Vaishnavas who are serving these great devotees that after you serve the Mahaprasadam to the Lord, to these devotee, please give me the Mahaprasadam. We would like to accept it because this will help us in growing in Krishna consciousness. Or sometimes they used to go and stand behind the house of these Vaishnavas, and when they have ended up completed the accepting of prasadam, in those days they used to accept prasadam in banana leaf. So they used to throw the banana leaves on the back of the house. So without the knowledge of the person who has accepted the food stuff and left the remnants, and the devotees who have served these Vaishnavas, they used to go and accept it with great faith and with great determination that this will help me. So it once so happened that immaturely one devotee was trying to imitate this. He used to go to the devotees and say that or sometimes just go grab, they are taking prasadam, just go grab from the plate. Or devotees get up, they will say that snatching plate business used to happen. So once one devotee corrected this immature devotee, if you are so eager for Mahaprasadam, go to the dustbin. All the devotees, after accepting this Mahaprasadam, have left the remnant in there. Why don't you go to dustbin? So you want to show off. Right? So in this kind of an exchange, there should be no show off. Like that. So this Jadu Thakur and Kalidas, they both got delivered just by accepting Mahaprasadam of these devotees. And when the person is very sincere, even the superior will allow, saying that okay, take. Like that. So once when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was entering Jagannath Puri temple, so people washed their legs before entering the temple. So out of great love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and with great devotion, I don't remember, it was Kalidas only or somebody who, Kalidas only, right? Kalidas, after the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so this Kalidas was in great ecstasy. He wants the remnants, the Teen Mahabal, right? What are the Teen Mahabal? Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Chal, Bhakta Bhukta Vashish. So he was very eager. So Kalidas came immediately forward. Generally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to never allow anyone to take the Charnamrit of his legs. He used to be very careful. He used to say nobody can take it. But that day in a great ecstasy, Kalidas just went ahead, took the Charnamrit of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in front of everyone he drank. Then second time, the person who was serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put the water. Second time Kalidas took. Everyone was watching and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this time is not objecting Kalidas. Third time also when the third time the water was put on the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, Kalidas was trying to take it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, enough. I know that you are in great ecstasy, but people are watching. So don't do this. So that should be the mood of the devotees. Even when we accept the Mahaprasadam of the devotees, we should have that love and faith and trust. And if we do not have that love, faith and trust in this exchange, it is okay to wait for such a natural exchange of love happens. Best is you exchange Mahaprasadam. That will purify us enough to come to the stage when we exchange this intimate loving exchange. Rupa Goswami says that there are 6 loving exchanges between devotees. One is Dadati Prati Grihnati. You give some gift, you accept gift. Bhunkte Bhujayat Dadati Prati Grihnati Guhyam Akhyati Prichati. You can reveal your heart to a devotee and hear from that particular devotee in confidence. And the third set is Bhunkte Bhujayate, like giving prasadam, accepting prasadam. So now, for a logical mind, we may think that giving prasadam and accepting prasadam can be categorized as giving gift and accepting gift, right? Mahaprasadam can also be gift, right? So why it is specifically categorized? Because this has a specific loving favor. Especially food, or the prasadam. It's a very loving exchange between devotees. So, Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva. So when we do this Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva in a very matured way, then we will come to that stage of accepting the prasadam, Mahaprasadam. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to love these kind of exchanges. Whether that is Mahaprasadam or Mahaprasadam also. So we all know in the past times of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there used to be one very great devotee, his name was Sridhar Kolavecha. So he was a very poor person. It is described that in the dhoti he used to wear, he definitely does not used to have an upper kurta or something. He used to wear only dhoti, half dhoti, half or 3/4 dhoti. And in that dhoti there used to be more holes and knots than the actual cloth. So that much poor he was. He used to had one rusted, broken, beaten up iron pot, in which used to keep water. He used to do service of selling bananas. He used to have a banana grove in his backyard, and he used to sell banana leaf, bananas, and with whatever money he used to get, half of the money he used to use for worshipping Mother Ganga, considering that Ganga is a great devotee of Lord. So imagine if somebody is really very poor, he will never apply that formula that I will do my 50% for Krishna service. He will say, I am poor, bhai, I can't do it. But still, Sridhar Kolavecha used to do that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time and again used to ask Sridhar Kolavecha, or in a very sarcastic way used to tell that Sridhar Kolavecha, you are a very rich person. Why don't you invite me at your home? I have heard that you eat very, very palatable dishes. And how is it that you are doing all this without inviting me? And Sridhar Kolavecha used to feel very deep emotion that how nice it would have been if I would have been able to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is asking like that, but I am so poor that I don't have anything to offer to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like Sudama had nothing to offer to Krishna. Some few broken pieces of chipped rice he had for Krishna. And Krishna was asking Sudama that you came to meet me, have you not brought any gift for me? I am sure that your wife wouldn't have sent you to me without sending any gift. Then Sudama also had very strong emotion that time that how can I give chipped rice to Krishna? Krishna is living in such a great palace There are so many people serving him and he eats such a nice dishes. How can I even show that I brought you this for you? So similar emotion even Sridhar Kolavecha had. So on one particular day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with great devotion and emotion, he went to Sridhar Kolavecha's home, he brought that kamandalu and he drank water from that. Right? So, seeing that, Sridhar Kolavecha internally was very satisfied. But externally he couldn't express his emotion. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Sridhar Kolavecha and said that this is true devotion, my dear Sridhar Kolavecha. You do everything with devotion. That is what is more attractive to me than any other things. So this is a loving exchange of devotees when we have this special food remnants. So we have to take it very carefully. One should not take this as a very cheap factor. Once upon a time, in the life of Ramanujacharya, he also wanted remnants of Mahaprasadam from great devotees so that he advances. So Ramanujacharya used to stay in Kanchipuram, 1 hour drive from Chennai. There is a very beautiful deity of Varadaraj Swami. So he used to stay very close to that place, Kanchipuram. And he was under a Mayavadi guru, his name was Yadav Prakash. And having heard his philosophy did not appeal to Ramanujacharya, and Ramanujacharya left him. So he did not had a, so to say, a Vaishnava guru who is guiding him in his regular life. So anyways, Ramanujacharya was well versed, he had good knowledge of what has to be done. So at one point of time, he invited Kanchipurna to his home, and he thought that serving him and taking remnants from his Mahaprasadam will bless me so that I will advance in devotional service. So Kanchipurna, however, knew that if I go to Ramanujacharya's house, he has invited me with so much devotion, I cannot say no. So Ramanujacharya was repeatedly telling Kanchipurna, you please come to my home. So Kanchipurna was stuck, I can't go, because Kanchipurna used to consider that I am very fallen soul, I am born in a Shudra family. I cannot accept that honor which Ramanujacharya wants to give me. So one day Kanchipurna finally agreed that okay, I will come. And Kanchipurna was very intelligent, that he said that okay, you come, I will come along with you for accepting prasadam. So that day Ramanujacharya told his wife of Ramanujacharya was Raksha Kambal. She was from a Ramanuja was also born in Brahmana family, but Raksha Kambal was also from Brahmana family, but little higher caste within Brahmana family. So Raksha Kambal had this pride that I belong to a very high class Brahman family, and my husband is also Brahmana, but not that high class Brahmana. Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's introduction was given by Gopinath Acharya to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken Sampradaya from Bharati Sampradaya, he has taken sannyas. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was like, Bharati Sampradaya, not so elevated, I am more elevated. Bhattacharya is more elevated than Bharati. So if you want, I can give you again initiation. So this comes from the pride of not understanding devotion. So Raksha Kambal somehow was not very comfortable that I should serve a Shudra, born in a Shudra family. Generally, this goes like this: Shudras serve Vaishyas, Shudras serve Kshatriyas, Shudras serve Brahmanas. Lower class serves higher class. So somehow Raksha Kambal was not very happy with this idea that I have to do service to a person who is born in Shudra family. So anyways, because Ramanuja was telling, I will make some prasadam. So Kanchipurna was also very intelligent. He told Ramanuja, you come, I will come to accept prasadam. Ramanujacharya told his wife that Kanchipurna is coming today, so please make prasadam. She agreed. Ramanujacharya is coming to Kanchipurna's home to take him back to his home. Kanchipurna very intelligently takes different route, reaches the house of Ramanujacharya. From outside he says that, myself very poor person, Kanchipurna. Rakshakambal says that, Ramanuja has gone to get you only. Kanchipurna says, I have come on your invitation. Please serve the prasadam to me. I have service to the temple in the temple. Please finish it. So Rakshakambal also thought, okay, I will serve the prasadam to Kanchipurna. Ramanuja is looking for Kanchipurna, where he has gone. That day, those days there was no phones that you call and ask, Prabhu, are you coming? Share your live location. We'll meet halfway through. Those technological facilities were not there. So Kanchipurna sat, Rakshakambal served the prasadam, and after the completion, Kanchipurna himself took his plate, he cleaned that place, he took water from the place, he cleaned that place, everything he did, and he with his own things, he dumped the banana leaf and he went. Then Rakshakambal, whatever that prasadam was also remaining, which she made for Kanchipurna, she trashed that also, thinking that I have made it for some Shudra. She again took bath, then again started cooking for Ramanujacharya. So this is a tradition in Brahmana families, that any time you cook, you take bath. Again you are cooking the next serving, you again take bath. So that is the Brahmana's way of cooking. So she was again cooking. Then Ramanujacharya, after not finding Kanchipurna for long, he came back home and he asked, Arey, you are still cooking? When I left, you are still cooking. Now I came back, nothing. Rakshakambal said, Kanchipurna came, he accepted prasadam, went. So she was like, job done. Then Ramanujacharya asked, where is the Maha prasadam? She said, what Maha prasadam? It's all trashed, finished, gone. So Ramanujacharya became very upset. That this kind of mentality should not be applied. In this purport also, or maybe in the future purports, Prabhupada writes that this kind of low or high mentality should not be there while we are accepting Maha prasadam of the devotees. So something which is very sensitive in devotional service, we should carefully accept that, not carelessly accept that. So in this way, this Teen Mahabal can immediately generate ecstasy in devotional service. There is one more pastime connected to again Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya, when he was preaching, managing the whole entire Sri Sampradaya, he did a very excellent, unimaginable establishment of Sri Sampradaya. So once, while he was in Kaveri, he took prasadam, he was served prasadam by his devotees, and Ramanujacharya's followers also used to carefully accept Maha prasadam of Ramanujacharya. So one day it so happened that few of his disciples were in mind, some thought that we are accepting Maha prasadam of Ramanujacharya, but why is it that we are not getting that ecstasy in devotional service? Something like that was going on. So that day Ramanujacharya wanted to show a very special pastime. So Ramanujacharya, after having accepted prasadam, some remnants of food are stuck into the hand. It is not that your hand is like completely off. Generally we don't lick and take out everything. So he went and washed his hand in Kaveri river. One food grain from Ramanujacharya's hand came out from the water. A fish ate that one rice. In front of everyone's eye, that fish became Chaturbhuja Vaikuntavasi and went back to Godhead. And all the disciples who were having this in mind or around Ramanujacharya were like confused. What went wrong? We take prasadam, Maha prasadam every day. Nothing like that happened to us. Right? Even we have, those who are disciples, those who are grand disciples of Prabhupada, they might have had this exchange of accepting Maha prasadam of their spiritual master on Vyas Puja day, or on special occasions. Did not happen to us. And a fish who is not even chanting, who is not even doing sadhana bhakti, how can he just after accepting immediately Chaturbhuja Rupam, went back to Godhead? So we have this mentality in our mind that should I accept it or not? Will it be beneficial or not? So all these mental calculations hinder us from advancing in Krishna consciousness. So we can be humble, we can accept Maha Prasadam of the devotees, provided we have faith in that devotee, we have faith in the process of this. And if we do not have faith, we can honestly say that we will accept Mahaprasadam of the Lord. We can pray to the Lord so that slowly we advance. But it is Teen Mahabal, very great strength in advancing in Krishna consciousness. So these are the special pastimes and special interaction which Narad Muni had with these Bhakti Vedantas. And if I am not wrong, in one of the lecture I heard that these Bhakti Vedantas were none other than Chatush Kumaras, if I am not wrong. I don't know, I am not sure. I don't know if anybody knows, they can confirm. These Chatush Kumaras wanted to personally bless Narad Muni to advance in Krishna consciousness. That's why they had come. So in this way Narad Muni advanced, and in the further verses also you will see how he increased his devotion step by step. So before that also Narad Muni warns that I got the mercy of these devotees, although they are very impartial, because I had some specific qualities of being self-controlled, being not attracted to sports of childish sports. I was Alpabhashi. I spoke only about Krishna consciousness. Because of these qualities, I was blessed by them. So this is the science of Krishna consciousness. We do some devotional service and the superior authorities blesses us. And this blessing is not some grabbing mechanism. It has to come out from their heart. Like that. So this is what I thought we will discuss in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. There is one more instance also in Prabhupada's life. When Prabhupada was once taking a flight in his life, I don't know from where to where, there were 2 or 3 devotees who were traveling with Prabhupada as assistant, secretary, like that. So before one of the particular journey of the flight, Prabhupada was sitting and Prabhupada was being served. In the flight we don't generally take like rice, dal, sambar because it spreads out. So Prabhupada was served this puffed rice, the muri was there. So Prabhupada asked for muri, the disciple was serving, and this air hostess was not knowing what puffed rice is. So Prabhupada started accepting, there was on the plate, and she was walking around and she saw that there is some new item. Only Indians know this puffed rice. Generally Westerners, I don't know how much they know. And Westerners sometimes are not cultural, they just eat from anyone's plate anywhere, like that. So this air hostess asked Prabhupada's assistant that, what is this? He said, puffed rice. She was like, I don't know what it is. She just took and ate. She was so lucky, even Prabhupada disciples don't do it. So immediately after taking the prasad, she had a great transformation in life. In the whole journey, she served Prabhupada and she was again and again asking, how can I become devotee, how can I become connected? So even innocently is still okay, but not in a forceful way. So if we accept like that, the devotional service, the devotional process will have its own effect. So one again instance of Prabhupada's life. This is from, if I am not wrong, Mukunda Goswami. If you know Mike, he was earlier Mike. He wanted to learn music, and that's the reason why he was out from his. He was a resident of some Central America. He came to New York to learn music, and he saw that Prabhupada was also speaking about music. So he started coming to Prabhupada for music. Initially he was very sincere. He was asking, how can I sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like that. So one day Prabhupada, out of his causeless mercy, when he had a laddu in his hand, he took laddu and he gave Mahaprasadam to Mike. So he ate and he gave back to Prabhupada, thinking that this is the way we exchange bhungte bhojayate. So Prabhupada ate one slice of that laddu, gave to Mukunda Goswami. He ate it and he thought, I should also give it back. Like that. So innocently also if we take, we can advance in Krishna consciousness. But very careful instruction in our life, we can do it when we are doing it rightly. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Anybody has any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu? Yeah. More than required, yeah. Okay, as regards to these Alpabhashi means, I'll just give you example, right? Now, for example, there are so many current affairs happening in this world. If devotees are little bit aware of that, it's okay. Like for example, when we go out and preach, we should not be man from moon. Like you go out and preach and speaking about Bhagavad Gita, somebody asked that, what is Krishna conscious opinion about the war in Russia and Ukraine? Somebody asked this question. We should at least know that there is some war between Russia and Ukraine. But we need not go into detail. Russia started bombing in that city. Prabhu, can you give me the newspaper? I want to know the entire Russia-Ukraine war so that I will be able to know. Required means, this much, it's fine. For example, how the society is living, what trends society is changing. We know, like for example, social media. It is not direct devotional service, right? But it can be used. Like somebody comes to our temple and asks, Prabhu, do you have your Facebook page? And we should not be like, come on, I don't know what is Facebook. You know what is Facebook, but we need not have some 500 friends and you are chatting like that. Okay, Facebook is there, you can use it in Krishna. Required. As much as required. That's it. Yes, Bhavamay Nityanand Prabhu. Yeah. Avashesh, yeah. Both are synonymous. Avashesha means you accept prasadam, whatever remains in that plate is avashesha. Uchishta also means that only. It is synonymous. I don't suppose there is any significant difference in that. It is same, uchishta and avashesha. Bhakta, bhukta, avashesha. Uchishta. Synonymous. Okay. It might be. Sometimes the words are synonymous. But no. Okay, you are telling like that. Avashesha means that which is not even offered to the devotee. Bhukta avashesh means it is offered to the devotee. He has accepted some portion of that and it is remaining. No. In my understanding, Bhakta Bhukta avashesh means that prasadam which is offered to the devotee, he has accepted some portion of that and not taken the remaining portion of that. That is Bhakta Bhukta avashesh or Uchishta. Avashesh can also mean that which is not even offered to the devotee. It is being cooked but not offered. Like that. See, Bhakta Bhukta avashesh is a higher intensity. Avashesh is intensified devotion. High intensity, low intensity. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I told you, Jadu Thakur used to do like that. But he had that great faith. Even without their permission, he used to accept in a sense that they not even come to know. Like that. So Narad Muni took with permission. That is still more advanced way in my understanding, because the devotee is well aware and devotee heartfully says, okay, you can take. Sometimes what happens in our Krishna conscious devotees, we take Mahaprasadam of some, say, spiritual master. The devotee who is taking it from the spiritual master knows that this devotee can take it. But this devotee, after taking it, he comes and starts distributing. So that spiritual master does not know that who all are taking. So it is better we don't do that. If somebody is eager, they can directly go to the spiritual master, or when nobody is watching, take it. Just like Jadavdas Thakur used to take when nobody is watching, take that time. Okay? Okay. Any more questions or comments? Yeah. Disciples have that right, provided the spiritual master gives that. Yeah, even disciple can take from spiritual master if that loving relationship exists. Even he can take from spiritual master without his permission, but without his knowledge also. You should not, after taking without his permission, should, Maharaj, I took your Mahaprasada. Then the mercy is lost. This mercy comes in a very special packaged way. Yeah, maintain that consciousness. Okay? Yes, Prabhu? How does that affect our consciousness? Okay. Good. Just like, for example, in coronavirus, during the pandemic, we were so careful. This person has walked in that area, we will not go. Right? We will wear masks, we might get affected. Right? So, these remnants of prasadam also becomes imbued with devotional service. And that we will get it. Provided we are in a state of acceptance of that consciousness. Just like infectious, Prabhupada writes, pure devotion is as much infectious in good sense as infectious diseases. In one of the Vaishnava Acharya compares a Vaishnava to be like a snake. The moment snake bites you, poison gets inside you. Similarly, a devotee interacts with you, he will induce that Krishna consciousness in you. So by the food, it happens very quickly. So it happens. That is transcendental science. Okay? So thank you all very much. It is beyond time. Yeah? Yeah. Kalidas. Okay, there is one verse which says that eagerness is the only price that you have to pay in advancing in Krishna consciousness. So this eagerness was genuine. Kalidas did not want to show off that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Charanamrit only I can drink. He did not have that consciousness. He had that genuine thing, I want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Charanamrit. So he took it. So accepting the genuinity, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also allowed. Okay, take it. But when it was becoming too much, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inhibited. Enough. Now people will misunderstand. So that eagerness should be there. So when we come to the higher stage of Krishna consciousness, it comes. So for our in Krishna consciousness, we can accept Mahaprasadam of the Lord, and we can pray to the Lord that please purify me. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.